Coming up, COVID-19 cases in Iowa are rising again.
And later, as the election approaches, campaigns are making their final stops in Iowa.
Welcome to DITV Now, your flash update on all the biggest headlines coming out of the Daily Iowa newsroom. I'm your host, Tiana Torjan.
And I'm Katie Wadman.
As the cold weather sets in, COVID-19 numbers are surging across the country. On Friday, the U.S. saw its highest single-day case total since the pandemic began. There were 83,000 positive cases and 943 deaths recorded that day. Cases on the University of Iowa campus have been going up since the beginning of October. Last week, 16 University of Iowa students tested positive, along with 5 employees. These numbers are up slightly from the week before. Johnson County now has the third highest positive case count in Iowa.
With the election only a week away, the Trump and Biden campaigns are stopping in Iowa for one last push. Vice President Mike Pence is holding a rally at the Des Moines airport on Thursday. Several members of his staff recently tested positive for COVID-19, but that hasn't stopped his campaign travel. Democratic nominee Joe Biden will also make his own appearance on Friday. This will be his first Iowa visit in person since the start of the general election cycle. He plans to talk about bringing Americans together during the current crisis. Further details are not available yet. A recent Politico poll showed that Biden and President Trump are tied in Iowa 47% to 47%.
Every 10 years, a constitutional convention question is added to Iowa's ballots so voters can select whether or not they want amendments made to the state constitution. Since the question reappeared on Iowa ballots in 1970, all 5 constitutional conventions have been rejected by voters. On average, only 34% of voters are in favor of the convention. An Iowa convention has not been hosted since 1857. This question is basically asking Iowans if they believe the state constitution needs to be changed, or if new amendments need to be added, or if old ones need to be removed. The convention is the only way to do that. As of now, there are no reports of committees or parties registering in support or in opposition of the convention.
Last week, Iowa City held free implicit bias trainings. Implicit bias is an unconscious prejudice against a certain group. The program was designed to teach people about what implicit bias is and how to reduce it. The program addressed 5 barriers that stop us from recognizing implicit bias: defensiveness, polarization, lack of knowledge, bias, and, quote, the overwhelming nature of the problem, end quote. It also focused on the root causes and effects of racial and gender bias. Tom Newkirk specializes in implicit bias and spoke at the training. Newkirk said that the goal of the program was to start an ongoing conversation. It will take time, but he hopes that starting the conversation will help reduce the unconscious biases in everyone.
In typical Iowa fashion, the sun is out. However, you'll still need your winter coat. Today's high is 40 degrees with a low of 25. It'll warm up into the 50s later this week.
Thanks for tuning in to DITV Now.
We'll be back tomorrow with the latest on the University of Iowa, Iowa City, and Hawkeye Nation. From Iowa City, I'm Tiana Torjan.
And I'm Katie Wadman. Have a great day.